The way these whisper networks work in board gaming, in comics, in science fiction publishing is they hope that if they just kind of ignore you, you'll go away. If they just kind of ban you from their spaces, you won't make a stink about it for too long. They really think that they can control the narratives, control the social structures by getting rid of a few elements out there. And really, the only way to push back and to change the culture so that these things don't happen anymore is to be loud, vocal about it, and to not stop until their behavior stops. And so that's what we're going to do here. We've been covering the Dice Tower's problems and their hatred of conservatives and Christians from their channel, from everything they've been doing with their actions over the last few years. They are part of a whisper network in board gaming in which there's a couple political activists who have been very loud, very vocal, who have tried to silence anyone basically who's even a centrist, who's not part of their big SJW woke cult for a long time. This Whisper Network's really led by Rodney Smith from the Watch It Played channel, from Eric Lang, formerly of Cool Mini or Not Games. Suzanne Sheldon is one of them, and there's a few others who just like to harass people over political beliefs. And this is what's been happening over and over and over again. Now, my story with the Dice Tower goes way back. I was a big fan before they were big. I was watching Tom Vassell back in 2011, 2012. Really enjoyed his reviews and all that on games. The top 10 lists are always a lot of fun. And, of course, a whole board gaming culture developed out of that. Lots of channels now do what they do, make their reviews. They do their top 10 lists. It's like this whole ecosystem on YouTube that's grown out of what Tom really pioneered. So I don't want to diminish any of those accomplishments from back then, but what happened over the last few years is they changed, and they've really focused more on their clout and maintaining their little social status within these board gaming communities rather than actually doing what's right and making sure that board gaming can be a family fun hobby where everybody can enjoy it. It's now become an SJW train wreck across the board, and they're helping perpetuate this. So I got attacked by these guys a while back, and it's continuing today, and we'll get into that in just a second, along with other examples of exactly why conservatives are getting targeted by these people. So it's too bad. Tom, I know you watch my videos every single time. Stop this behavior. Don't harass conservatives any longer. Invite us into your networks. We want to play games too. We are the main actual board gamers out there. The people who board game are people who are families who want to get their kids off TV for the most part. And who is that going to lean towards? It's going to lean towards conservative. It's going to lean towards Christians who don't want that crappy woke LGBT content everywhere. And you know what? It's time to make a change. Let's do it. Let's be the positive change that we want. All right. My name is John Delarose. I am a #1 best-selling author and award-winning comic creator, and I'm going to be making my own card games and board games out of my properties eventually. But right now, you can grab my graphic novel. This is Overmind. It is doing extremely successful. They tried to cancel me right before this started. It was a couple months before my campaign started. This big cancel campaign happened against me from these board gaming groups. Didn't do anything. Didn't bother Kickstarter. We crushed it. Now we're on BackerKit and we're still crushing it. We don't get to show the stats of what's winning anymore from all the stuff, but we do get to show all the wonderful product to you. So all of my books are on here. All of my comics are on here, and you can check them out right now and get that in the description below. Support content from people who don't hate you, and that'll be fun stuff. You'll absolutely enjoy this. All right, so a few months ago, I made a video about the hottest board game reviewers in board gaming. And one of those was Camilla Cleghorn from the Dice Tower. And what I said about Camilla is she seems like a nice Christian gal, a mom type. She seems very elegant, and she just seems like a nice lady, basically, at the end of the day. And that's what I said on the video. Tom Vassell told me, so what happened was, before Tom got into it, Rodney Smith and Eric Lang from tried to cancel me and tried to get me destroyed, saying I was horrible for making a video like this, which obviously they didn't watch the video. They just wanted to go bleat at how virtuous they were to try to destroy somebody, because I'm right wing and because I'm Christian. At the end of the day, they hate that. They want to push creepy sexual degenerate lifestyles into board gaming, which has had problems already at Gen Con this year, as I showed in another video. But Tom Vassell preemptively removed me from the Dice Tower Facebook group. Now, I hadn't posted in there in a while, and when I posted, I only posted on topic about board games. I'm a big board gamer, a huge collection, and I've actually worked in the industry a little bit too. And I asked Tom, I'm like, why did you remove me? It's not like I was like posting anything bothering anybody there. He wrote this rant at me saying he was very offended by my video. Remember, I just called one of his contributors a nice lady. Seems like a good Christian mom. I mean, that's the type of commentary I made. And he's offended by that. Okay. You'd only be offended by that if you were, of course, in a political whisper network. And we know what happens with these people in the industry. They have DM groups, they have Discords that are private, and they all sort of coordinate these attacks on individuals. It's not just myself. It's happened to Board Games in a Minute, Sarah Shaw. She got attacked simply for trying to defend the Palestinian people, which, is a political thing which can't be done in the board game industry, apparently. Other people have been attacked too, which we'll get to in a second. Absolutely crazy. So Tom removed me personally, even though I never caused any problems. I've been a fan for years. I've supported his Kickstarters for his Dice Tower promos. It was really offensive, and we know why. It was all over politics. It was all over the fact that I'm an outspoken conservative and Christian, which is not allowed in the board game industry anymore. You're going to get targeted. I was removed from the Game Manufacturers Association for the same reasons, and it's harassment from SJWs in the industry. These people shake their fists, and they try to remove every conservative content creator. There was another board gaming company who spoke out against the abortion law, a review group, and they got the same treatment. They just got savaged by these people, and they try to ostracize us because they are so scared of their falsehoods, of their opinions, which are not holding any ground in reality, being questioned, their little fiefdoms, their clout circles being disrupted, that they don't want competition from people who are normal board gamers in here because they'll know that will expose them as frauds. And that's what happens. Well, anyways, since Tom mentioned it was so offensive, he said everybody at the Dice Tower was offended. I actually went on to Camilla Clayhord's chat this morning. She was in a live chat just talking about board games this morning. She seems like a sweet lady. Like I said, I don't think that she is doing anything, so please don't direct any of this at her. This is all Tom Vassel's doing. He said he was the one who initiated this stuff. And so I know where it's coming from. I don't think she probably even is offended at my existence. She probably agrees with me. If anything, I get the vibe. She'll be quiet to keep her job, of course, but that's how it goes. So just in case, because I'm a nice guy and I always like to do what's right and try to fix things if I can. Gosh, I can't get the screen down here. Let me see if I can move this a little. There we go. All right. So I left this comment to try to be conciliatory and try to mend bridges. This is what Christians do, of course. Tom Vassell, I guess, should know this. But I always do this. I always try to talk behind the scenes first. That's why I reached out to Tom Bidlike. Was this a mistake? Tom made it known that it was about politics and that he was going to make sure I was not welcome within the board game community. And so we make these videos now. And, we're not going to be silent. We are not going to back down. We are not going to be intimidated by people who have clout or bigger subscriber counts than us. Sorry, Tom. Not going to work like that. But what I will do is if Camilla actually was offended by my statements, which I've already gone over, here I want to, of course, make up for that. So I said, hey, Camilla, Tom said you were very offended at my video of Pretty Board Game Reviewers where I said you were elegant. I hope that wasn't the case. It's all in good fun. Board gaming drama can be silly. And this is absolutely silly. Tom should have never gotten involved in this. Why would he? It's insanity. But he did so because he has to keep his political clout, which we'll go over in a second. So I got banned from the Dice Tower chat for posting this. And they removed me. I can't post there any longer. They are so scared of my very existence on YouTube that they can't even allow this. They can't allow reconciliation. They don't want to acknowledge it because if Camilla acknowledged this and said, you know what, I'm not offended, we can be friendly, yay Christians in board gaming, all the SJW Hornets nests in their little DM groups, their whisper networks, would go crazy and they'd try to cancel the Dice Tower. And that's what Tom's afraid of at the end of the day. Tom is so scared of them and their clout that he will bend over backwards for them. He will make sure that normal families are not welcome in board gaming in order to appease them. And we're going further and further into that. We saw at Gen Con this year that a transgender lady was paired to room with another woman as a volunteer, and the transgender lady, of course, forced herself on this person when she was drunk. allegedly, according to this woman, and caused a huge storm because of this. And it's all because of woke politics, because why would you be housing a person who, is a biological male with a woman, except for woke politics? They did that. And these people are getting, like I said, it's all about sexual deviant lifestyles, trying to promote crazy, weird sexual situations. It's not about board gaming. And so when you get those situations going on, you're going to run into trouble. Now, that's the end result of wokeism. The wokeism actually will protect predators and actually try to harm people who are calling out predators like myself. And that's what Tom Vasel is trying to perpetuate with his woke friendly content at this point. And so we're pushing against this, and we're trying to stop this. Like I said, I tried to patch things up with Camilla. I don't know. I don't even know. I've never talked to her in my life, so I don't even know if she's actually offended or if there's any issue there. But Tom said there was, so I took him at his word, face value, and I got banned for it. Now, one other person was in the chat. They asked whether what was happening with my comments. Where are they gone? They got banned for it. So Tom does not want discussion. He does not want any of this even known. He wants to bury it because he has to appease his woke masters of Eric Lang, Rodney Smith, and others in the board game industry in order to not draw their ire. And that's all this is about at the end of the day. Now, there's more evidence of this. This isn't just about me. Gaming in a social political world. This is Tom Vasel with Eric Lang. So he prefaces this video going, I usually don't get into politics on the channel. And this proceeds with Eric Lang ranting about extreme leftist, crazy, off-the-wall politics for an hour with Tom Vasel, while Tom Vasel sits there and placates him. This is exactly what happens. Like I said, they push the woke on their channel, and you're expected to take it as a family board gaming community because the clout is there, and that's all it comes down to at the end of the day. Robert Burke Games used to be a great board gaming company, which has not done as much in the last few years. He got canceled. Tom Vasel would not review his Kickstarter, would not talk about his game. He actually blacklisted it from his channel. And Robert Burke asked why. Tom Vasel told him, according to Robert Burke, that he was too controversial. Why? Again, Robert Burke is a conservative, and Tom Vasel can't have that. He doesn't care about controversy. He'll have Eric Lang controversy on there. Eric Lang has, of course, gone out and advocated for the death of Republicans. That's what Tom Vasel's platforming. But you know what? A board gamer who's a conservative? No, can't do that. That's controversial. This is the type of thing that Dice Tower is doing. And of course, last year we have Suzanne, Dice Tower contributor, tried to cancel one of the largest retailer networks out there, TGG Games, because they had a frog on their game rulebook. Now, Suzanne made a bunch of rants and even went so far it looked like she was accusing the purveyor of TGG Games of trying to rape her at one point, which he's never done anything of the sort. Absolutely crazy stuff. But she went so far with this, she tried to cancel that entire retailer chain because he's a known conservative is what it comes down to at the end of the day, considering who Jeff is. And that's what it's about, who you are, not what you do. Like I said, Eric Lang is one of the worst out there. If they wanted to avoid controversy, if they wanted to avoid nasty statements and things like that, they wouldn't be platforming Eric Lang. It's about who Jeff is, and that's it. And his history in the industry. I'd be surprised if he didn't reply with a shitty take demonstrating his continuing shittiness. This is a lady who works for the Dice Tower swearing up a storm on Twitter about a big retailer. Why? Because he's a conservative. And that's what's happening all across the board. And that's why we're exposing the Dice Tower at every turn. I'm really ashamed of the Dice Tower for what they did today. I tried to do what was right. I tried to do the Christian thing and try to patch things up. Tom Vasel won't have that. He opposes Christians. Tom Vasel opposes conservatives. Tom Vasel opposes families in gaming. And here's the evidence here right before you as I keep showing. And we're going to keep showing it. We're not going to just silence ourselves. We're not going to come out one time and just go away. We are going to change board gaming for the better. We are going to make board gaming into a safe place where families can hang out, where you can bring your children without fear of these transgender creeps at Gen Con getting drunk and vomiting all over and then making weird sexual advances. That's the end result of wokeism. We're going to oppose that loudly until it goes away, until we can keep the children safe again, until we can make board gaming great again. And you know what? We're going to win because we have the truth on our side, we have God on our side, and we have wonderful fun on our side because you can't have fun when you act like this. Tom, apologize to me. I would appreciate it. Come on the channel. Love to hear your opinion on this. I would, of course, love to hash this out with you. I know you watch all my content, which is great. I appreciate it, Tom. Thanks for the views. See you soon. Leave a comment down below with what you think, my friends. Hit that like and subscribe button, and of course, make sure to back Overmind over on my backer kit right now. This is the opposition to this. If you want to support good content, this is where it starts. We're changing the culture one book at a time. See you soon.